Hi, our next topic is triads and seventh chords. Let's start with triads. A triad is a three-note chord stacked in thirds. To get one, we can start with the scale and take every other note. The first, third, and fifth note of the scale stacked up will give us that triad. We can get this triad by taking the fourth, the sixth, and then the tonic note again to get a stack of thirds. If we have our triad sitting here in its most basic position, which is called closed root position, so that we can really see that FAC is a stack of thirds, we can name the parts of the triad. This is called the root. This is called the third. And this is called the fifth of the triad. However, in real music, triads are not always stacked up this neatly and close together. Sometimes they look like this. My question for you is, are these triads? Look at these four chords for a moment and tell me yes or no if they are triads. They are a triad if you can rearrange, say, these three vertical notes into a shape like this, where it's a stack of thirds where they all hit the spaces, or a stack of thirds where they will all hit the lines. So you can pause your video and look at these four chords, but let's go through them now. We have a D, A, and an F, and if we bring the F down an octave, we can fit it in between the D and the A like this, and we'll see that yes, this chord is a triad. You see how that gives rise to that. How about this one? We have a B, a G, and a D. Is that a triad? Well, if we bring the B up an octave, that will fit in between the other two notes, and we can see that that's a triad. How about this one? There's a C, and an F, and we'll move all of them into the staff. We get FAC, so this one is a triad. How about this one? G, A, and D. Well, if we bring the G up an octave, we get this formation here. The G and the A are close together, creating a second, and there's no way to get a second out of the notes in a triad. So this is no, that's not a triad. As the quality of the thirds that make up the triad change, the sound of the triad itself changes. That's a major triad. That's a minor triad. That's an augmented triad. And by looking at the thirds within the triad, we can determine the quality of the whole triad, and it works like this. When we have our triad stacked up this way in a close stack of thirds, it'll follow this pattern. If there's a major third on the bottom and a minor third on the top, the whole triad is called a major triad. It's like this. The bottom two notes make a major third, upper two notes make a minor third. The whole triad is a major triad. If it's flipped so that the bottom third is minor, the upper third is major, then we call that a minor triad. If both thirds are minor, we call that a diminished triad. If both thirds are major, we call it an augmented triad. So this line along the bottom here is the triad quality. There's another way to think about this. Looking at the triad, or our little snowman, if the outer interval is a perfect fifth and the bottom interval is a major third, this is a major triad. And minor on the bottom, perfect fifth for the outer interval, makes a minor triad. Diminished fifth on the outer interval, minor third on the bottom, diminished. And major third on the bottom, but an augmented fifth for the outer interval, makes an augmented triad. It's the same four triad types, but this is just a different way to think of the intervals making it up. Let's do a little exercise in spelling triads, because as I mentioned, they will not always occur in music as a nice little stack of notes. They can be spread out all over the registers. So it's good to have this pattern in mind, and you should memorize this. A, C, E, C, E, G, E, G, B, G, B, D, B, D, F, D, F, A, F, A, C. Each one of those tells you the notes, the letter names that will be in a triad. Where this comes from, by the way, is if we start stacking up notes. Here's A, C, E, G, B, D, F, and so forth. All we're doing is taking the first three notes and we get A, C, E, then start on the second note and take three, we get C, E, G, then start on the third note, we get E, G, B, start on the fourth note, we get G, B, D, and so forth. So these are all the possible triads that you can get using letter names. You can pause your video and look at each of these chords, and what I want you to tell me is the root and the quality of each triad. In this one, the notes are A, F, and C. We should mentally go through these sequences of letters and see if an A, F, and a C are found in any of these groups of three. And yes, the last one here, F, A, C, corresponds to these notes. So we know that that can be spelled just like we did before. I'm going to bring it up here. F, A, C. So F is the root. And what's the quality? Well, we have F to A is the interval in the bottom. So that's a major third. A to C, the upper interval, is a minor third. So this is a major triad. Major third on the bottom, minor third on the top, and the root is F. So we'll call this F major. How about this one? F sharp, A sharp, D, F sharp. So how can we order those notes into one of these three-note patterns? Does it work? Is this really a triad? Let's see. F, A, D, F. We can ignore the doubled notes, so we don't have to say F twice, but we can quickly recognize that the right pattern is DFA. It's this pattern right here, DFA. So if we just bring the A sharp onto the upper staff, we have D, F sharp, and A sharp. That's simplifying these four notes into the closed root position little stack of thirds that we want. So what's the root of this? Well, the bottom note, when we have it stacked this way, is the root. How about the quality? We know it's a D triad, and the quality is determined by the kind of thirds we have. So D to F sharp is a major third. F sharp to A sharp is also a major third. So it's this situation here. A stack of two major thirds gives us an augmented triad. So that's a D augmented triad. Next one. B flat, G, D, B flat. Let's see, B flat, B, G, D, G, B, D, G, B, D. That's one of these. So G is going to be the root, B flat, and D. So this is going to be a G chord. And the quality, G to B flat is a minor third, B flat to D is a major third. So looking back up here, it's a minor third with a major third on top of it. So this is a G minor triad. And how about this one? G, B flat, E, E. That corresponds to E, G, B. So E is going to be the root. E, G, B flat. And we can confirm that E to G is a minor third, G to B flat is a minor third, so we have two minor thirds. So this is an E diminished triad.